How do you build the world's largest train station on top of a mountain, on soil that cannot hold a building? 1.22 million square meters, 40,000 workers, $7.8 billion. Before the station could rise, China sent the largest construction army ever assembled to a mountaintop no engineer thought possible.
Chongqing, China's most mountainous city. A place where rivers meet and the ground is so soft engineers called it liquid earth.
How this impossible engineering made possible, let's go.
China's most difficult geography, where mountains meet rivers and the ground beneath is too soft to build anything. An empty site measuring 1.22 million square meters. That is 5 times the size of Vatican City. The soil report came back. Building here was impossible. But the railway line had to go through. To make it worse, active railway lines ran directly through the site. Trains could not stop. Construction had to continue around them.
China built temporary steel bridges over the active tracks so workers could move above moving trains. Construction began.
40,000 workers arrived by bus. A human wave entering the mountain site to build the impossible. 500 prefabricated buildings rose in 30 days. A temporary city for the army of workers. The first excavator dug into the mountain. The clock started ticking on the most ambitious station project in history.
$7.8 billion approved. The Chinese government stamped the most expensive station project ever attempted.
This was the beginning of the world's most advanced station. But first, they had to fix the ground beneath. Excavators dug 25 meters down. 3 underground platform levels carved into the soft mountain soil. Then the soft soil collapsed. Workers ran. The mountain was fighting back. The solution came from an engineer. 15,000 steel piles driven deep into the mountain to hold the station. Each blow of the pile driver shook the mountain. 15,000 piles hammered into the soft ground. 1 meter thick concrete diaphragm walls rose around the excavation. The mountain could not collapse again. Chongqing sits above a high water table. 24/7 pumps ran to keep the excavation dry. Ground sensors were installed everywhere. Every millimeter of movement tracked in real time. Work never stopped. 5,000 workers, 200 machines, under floodlights every single night. 350 meters long. The first underground platform level was complete.
1 million cubic meters of mountain removed. Now the foundation would begin.
200,000 tons of steel arrived. The convoy stretched 10 kilometers along mountain roads.
Workers tied the steel reinforcement like a giant web. 200,000 tons, becoming one structure.
A concrete plant was built on site. 10,000 cubic meters of concrete produced every single day. The foundation was tested against a magnitude 7 earthquake. It did not move a single millimeter.
Then the concrete pour began. 72 hours non-stop. Pumps running continuously.
Each pile hole was drilled 40 meters deep into the bedrock below the mountain. 8-ton load distribution plates were laser-aligned on top of each pile.
Thermal sensors inside the concrete monitored temperature as it cured. Any problem detected immediately.
The hammer test produced a solid sound. The foundation was perfect.
15,000 piles. 200,000 tons of steel. The foundation was ready. Now the columns would rise.
The columns were inspired by banyan trees, branching like living roots to hold the roof above.
Each column sat on a 5-meter diameter steel ring bolted directly into the foundation. Day by day, the columns rose. 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters high.
At the top, each column split into a Y shape, designed to hold the massive roof above.
41 meters, 14 floors high. The columns were ready to receive the roof.
10,000 tons of pressure pushed down on each column. They did not move. Over 30 tree columns stood in a perfect grid. A forest of steel holding the mountain station. Each column was sprayed with anti-corrosion coating, protecting the steel for decades to come.
The first column group was connected, ready to transfer the roof load to the foundation below. 41-meter columns stood ready, waiting for the 16,500-ton roof to come.
Every morning, 40,000 workers assembled for roll call. A sea of hard hats ready to build.
15 platforms across 3 underground levels. Concrete poured continuously for weeks.
The track bed was laser leveled to 1 millimeter precision, perfectly flat for high-speed trains.
Overhead electrification was mounted. Sparks flew as workers installed the power for high-speed trains. 200 escalator shafts were cast into the station, moving millions of passengers every day.
50 elevator cores rose through the station, including glass elevators with mountain views. 100,000 square meters of waiting and commercial space took shape above the platforms. Shops and restaurants took shape. The station was becoming a city within a city.
10 kilometers of ventilation ducts were installed, bringing fresh air to every corner of the station.
The first platform was complete. A test train passed slowly. The station was coming alive.
16,500 tons of steel tubes were welded together on the ground, the largest roof ever assembled before lifting.
Each steel tube measured 2 meters in diameter. Workers welded every joint by hand, sparks flying like fireworks. The completed roof covered the area of 10 football fields. Lying on the ground, waiting to rise.
128 hydraulic jacks positioned under the roof, each capable of lifting 300 tons.
1 centimeter per second, the largest roof lift in history began. 16,500 tons rising. At 10 meters, the roof floated above the tree columns, perfectly aligned, waiting to connect. At 30 meters, workers checked every connection. The roof had to meet the columns perfectly. 57 meters. The roof reached its final height. Workers who spent months on the lift celebrated together. Bolt by bolt, the roof locked to the columns. 16,500 tons now floating above the station.
57-meter lift, 16,500 tons. The first time in the world a station roof floated on tree columns.
500,000 square meters of curved glass arrived. The station began to wear its crystal skin. 3-ton curved glass panels lifted by crane. Workers guided each one with ropes like giant kites.
Rain or shine, workers installed the glass. 3 tons of curved perfection on every panel. 50,000 solar panels covered the roof. The station would generate its own power from the mountain sun.
The roof collects 10,000 liters of rainwater every hour. Every drop recycled for the station.
Concrete turned to blue-green glass. The mountain station became a crystal palace. 2,000 digital screens were installed. Every passenger would see their train information from anywhere. 500 facial recognition gates scanned passengers in seconds. No tickets. No lines. 100 X-ray scanners checked every bag. Security without slowing anyone down. Outside, 40 degrees Celsius. Inside, 22 degrees. The mountain station was perfectly comfortable. Glass screen doors lined the platforms, opening exactly with each train for perfect safety. Acoustic panels made every announcement crystal clear. Millions of passengers would never miss their train. 200 escalators ran simultaneously. A river of people moving through the mountain station. 100,000 LED lights responded to every passenger. Energy efficient, perfectly bright. At night, the station glowed like a palace on the mountain. Chongqing's new identity was born. 500 engineers spent 1 week inspecting every bolt, every weld, every connection. Nothing overlooked. Laser alignment confirmed every track was perfect to 1 millimeter, ready for 350 km/h trains. The first Fuxinghao train arrived at 350 km/h, wind roaring through the mountain station.
The braking test was perfect. The train stopped exactly aligned with every screen door.
20,000 people evacuated the station in 5 minutes. Safety systems worked perfectly. Fire alarms, sprinklers, and smoke extraction all worked together. The station was ready for anything. Computer simulations showed 300,000 passengers moving through the station every day. Smooth as water.
The ribbon fell. Chongqing East Station was officially open. The impossible was now reality.
The first public train arrived. Passengers walked out and looked up in awe. The mountain station was alive. 1.22 million square meters, 40,000 workers, $7.8 billion. China built the impossible on top of a mountain.
This video contains AI-generated and AI-edited content. The script has been written and rewritten using AI tools, and some visuals are also generated. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not represent any company, product, or factory in an official way.